Good morning. So Luke chapter 15. So Jesus here is in it's he's been teaching these parables. His intention is to teach a lesson to everyone there listening. And in verse 1, it says all the tax collectors and sinners drew near to him to hear him. So he was teaching to them. But also, we see in the next verse, the Pharisees and scribes complained. So he knew they were there watching. And he wasn't just teaching the sinners and the tax collectors. He was intending to teach the Pharisees and the scribes a lesson as well. And, they charged him there, said, this man receives sinners and eats with them. It's like, look at him. Look at what he's doing. He's eating with sinners. Look how terrible this man Jesus is. So he spoke this parable. The first is the 100 sheep. He loses one, and he goes after the one, and it's just showing the importance of going after that one sinner. It's 100. And he's just showing the importance of one, and then the coins. It's 1 out of 10, and he's just showing the importance of searching for that and getting that sinner back to him. But then we go to the parable of the 2 lost sons, and it's different. It's very different because he has 2 sons, and both of those sons are lost, right? And so he shows the wicked sinner, the younger son, and how he goes astray. He goes out into the world, and then he comes back. We see in verse 19 or 18 in chapter 15, I will arise and go to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you, no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. We see there that repentant heart of the younger son and how he turns from his ways back to the Father. And so Jesus is emphasizing there, sinners, you're welcome to come home. I've come for the sinners. I've come for the wicked tax collectors and sinners, and they can come home. And it shows clearly that. But then we turn to the elder son. And this is not mentioned in those first 2, the sheep and the coins. But in the sons, he shows the elder son, which is describing the Pharisees and the scribes. And I believe is the primary point of the parable here. And so he's saying, the very key verse, I believe, is verse 28, the elder son. But he was angry and would not go in. Therefore his father came out and pleaded with him. And then we start that dialogue, as Professor Williams said, it's very important to start that dialogue. So he answered, said to his father, Lo, these many years I've served you, have never transgressed your commandments, and yet you never even gave me a young goat I might make merry with my friends. So we see that dialogue. And it's very key that, I never really thought about the dialogue until Professor Williams brought that up. But the key verse there, I believe, is his father came out and pleaded with him. You see, the younger son was inside. The elder son was outside. The father was pleading for the elder son to come inside. You see, the younger son was in. The wicked sinner was inside. He was saved. But the elder son was out. You see, the elder son had that pride. He thought, I don't need to go in. I've been here working. I didn't go out and waste all my money on harlots. I've been here. He had that presumption that he was saved. And, he had that pride that stood in his way from going inside. The father come out and said, hey, your brother who has been away all these years living in sin, he's come home. Let's celebrate. he's the brother you love, and it's showing these Pharisees' heart toward the sinners and tax collectors. And Jesus is trying to teach them, hey, these people were wicked sinners, and they've been saved. I've come to save them. You should be happy. You should be celebrating that these wicked sinners are being saved. They've come in repentance. And it's showing the elder son's heart compared with the Pharisees and scribes. Their hearts were the problem. And Jesus is teaching about the heart. The younger son, he had a repentant heart. He came back to the Father. But the elder son's heart was hardened. He was angry. He would not go inside. And so the Father was pleading with him to come inside. And so I think that's in a nutshell, that's what he's talking about here. He's saying it's about the heart. Saying the younger son, he was a sinner. He was wicked. But his heart changed. He had a repentant heart and came back to the Father. The elder son, the scribes and Pharisees, on the outside they looked good. He stayed home. He worked hard. He didn't go waste his money with harlots. But his heart was the issue. And so I think that's the whole point of chapter 15, is showing the heart of the Pharisees and scribes and how they need a heart change, just like the younger son. They may not think they need a heart change. They may think they're good. But Jesus is showing them, you ain't good. You ain't good. There are none good. Your heart's the problem. The sinner, the tax collector, his heart changed. He has a new heart. And you, scribes and Pharisees, you can have a new heart too. Come inside. I'm pleading with you to come inside. Thank you.